Hello and welcome to Polish Teach English channel. Here I show DIYs on how to create wonderful household items from fabric scraps. Here is the case. I'm invited to a housewarming party and I need to make a present for the family. I would like to give something necessary, bright and memorable. I believe that the best presents are made by hand, as they have the warmth of the creator and the love for the gifted person. So, let's begin the work. I take a piece of dense fabric as a base and cut it to the necessary size and shape. I will sew a lot on it, so the fabric has to be quite strong. For convenience, you can draw circles on its surface to sew evenly. In the center of the blank, we place the most interesting, the most bright patch. And we begin to sew our fabric hems and scraps in a spiral. In general, I leave no open cuts when sewing. However, I do this but very rarely. In this case today, we can leave the cuts unprocessed as they will later be covered with other fabrics. When I sew on small pieces, I bend them, or sew in row by row. My favorite methods are scientific guess and divine inspiration. I'm invited for tea, and all sorts of tea stories come to my mind. When the sailors brought tea from China to Europe, it was a completely unknown product, and no one knew how to use it. And one English sailor brought tea to his mother, but he didn't explain what to do with it. So she invited guests to taste the new dish. This tea was brewed in a casserole pan. The black bitter water was poured out and the boiled leaves were served to the guests. History knows another story, the coffee experiment of Gustav III, the Swedish king who lived in the 18th century. He was born in 1746 and died in 1792. He wondered which of the drinks was more harmful, tea or coffee. The king ordered an experiment using two twins. Both men were sentenced to death for their crimes. Their sentence was commuted to life imprisonment, on the condition that one of the twins drinks 3 cups of coffee and the other the same amount of tea every day for the rest of their lives. Special doctors were appointed to guide the experiment and report the results to the king. Both doctors died before the end of the experiment. Gustav III, assassinated in 1792, also could not wait for the result. Among the twins, the tea drinker died first at the age of 83, and the second twin lived 4 years longer. And now coffee is the most popular drink in Sweden. Have a look, isn't it beautiful? Here I have 2 blanks for a kettle heating pad. How to determine the correct size? Well, take your favorite teapot and try it on. After that, we need to process the top cut. But in order for everything to be neat, it's better to first sew with a needle and thread. Connect these parts together and after that we will process it with a binding. We will also make a loop out of the fabric and sew it into the upper seam. Notice how we sew on the bias tape. At the bottom, we wrap the details a little with it. When you sew the second side of the inlay, it is better to first sew it with a needle and thread, and only then sew it on a machine. I finished this lovely, beautiful teapot cover. Who would have thought that such a beauty would turn out from fabric edges, which are thrown away by 99% of seamstresses? And here is a gift idea for you. In Russia, we cook jam at home, and in my family we often cook more of it than we eat during the winter. So I took several small jars and put different types of jam in each. Apple, strawberry, sea buckthorn, red currant jelly, and this is a wonderful addition to the teapot warming cover that we've sewn today. I hope you've liked the DIY and enjoy creating a piece in this technique for your family. Thank you for watching, subscribe to the channel, like and comment this video. See you in the next episode.